Breaking news out of the tech world: Apple is slashing iPhone 17 prices in China, and the timing could not be more strategic. That's right, the Cupertino giant is cutting prices on its latest iPhone 17 lineup specifically for Chinese consumers, and this move comes directly ahead of the massive 618 shopping festival, one of the biggest retail events on the planet. If you think Black Friday is intense, China's 618 festival makes it look like a quiet Sunday afternoon at a department store. We are talking about billions of dollars in consumer spending compressed into a matter of days, and Apple wants a massive piece of that action. So let's break down exactly what's happening here. Apple has reduced prices on the iPhone 17 series in China, a market that has been increasingly challenging for the company over the past couple of years. This isn't a minor discount we're talking about. This is a deliberate, calculated pricing strategy designed to win back Chinese consumers who have been drifting toward homegrown competitors like Huawei, Xiaomi, and Oppo. Those brands have been eating into Apple's market share aggressively, and Apple is firing back the best way it knows how, by making the iPhone 17 more accessible to one of the world's most competitive smartphone markets. The 618 Shopping Festival, which runs primarily through mid-June and is hosted heavily on platforms like JD.com and Alibaba's Tmall, is absolutely critical for consumer electronics brands. Shoppers in China actively wait for this event to make big purchases, and smartphone deals are among the most anticipated categories every single year. By cutting iPhone 17 prices ahead of this festival, Apple is essentially signaling to hundreds of millions of Chinese consumers, now is your moment, don't miss it. This move is also a significant indicator of just how seriously Apple is taking the competition in China. Let's be honest, China has not been smooth sailing for Apple recently. Regulatory pressures, rising nationalism around domestic tech brands, and a general economic caution among Chinese consumers have all created headwinds. iPhone sales in China have faced notable pressure quarter after quarter, and Wall Street has been watching those numbers with increasing concern. This price cut is Apple's answer to that pressure, a bold, proactive response rather than waiting for the quarterly earnings report to deliver bad news. From an investor perspective, this is a fascinating development. On one hand, cutting prices means thinner margins on each unit sold. Apple has spent decades building its premium brand identity, and price cuts can sometimes chip away at that carefully constructed image. On the other hand, volume matters enormously. If Apple can drive significantly higher iPhone 17 unit sales through the 618 festival period, the revenue gains could more than compensate for the reduced per-unit margins. It's a classic volume versus margin trade-off, and Apple is clearly betting on volume to win this round. There's also the longer game to consider. China remains one of Apple's most important markets globally, accounting for a substantial portion of the company's total revenue. Losing ground in China isn't just a short-term earnings problem, it's a long-term strategic threat. By investing in aggressive pricing during high-traffic shopping events, Apple is essentially buying back relevance and consumer mindshare in a market where it cannot afford to be forgotten. What this moment really tells us is something profound about the global tech landscape right now. Even Apple, the most valuable company in the world, cannot simply assume its brand alone will carry the day in a fiercely competitive market. In China, in 2025, you have to fight for every sale. So as the 618 shopping festival countdown begins, one question looms large: will a price cut be enough to reignite Chinese consumers' love affair with the iPhone, or has the competitive landscape shifted too far for even Apple to reverse course?